Chinese players hungry for success of his own. So players there, Matthew Stevens, Anthony McGill, Fergal O'Brien, Mark Williams, Barry Hawkins.
Admiration for him, really. So yeah, you definitely have to make Ding favourite. I mean, especially with the way he's played Edition 2. But I think once he gets that balance right between potting, when to be aggressive. I mean, look.
Fine. One. Seven.
Bit Dominic Dale in that.
Rather been higher on the black, he'd have had more control over the white. So that was a tricky cannon he had to play, and hence it's gone wrong. So so straight away that will settle Ding a little bit more, because Ding would have been thinking.
Murphy had a great chance, snooking himself, clearing up on the green behind the brown, and after that never looked like winning a frame. And indeed he didn't.
Look at every opportunity they get and think, well, I have to make this count as a. That's their.
One.
Oh, that's a good pot.
But with certain players, you know that little mistakes like that can affect their mindset. So he seems to have recovered pretty back. And this is what really interests me about certain players or something. So just playing for the. He's probably going to do it soon. I think a lead in the pack ahead of Bingtown.
A lovely break, actually.
47.
Hey, Tom, this would be a big win on television against Ding. I actually think it would be good for Ding, actually, if some of these young. But if his status as #1 player in China starts to get threatened, that might be a bit of.
Xingtong does, you know. Gets perfect there.
His intent today is going to attack. Well, still is. So, made a nice 68 to win it. Ding didn't pot a ball at all, actually. But looking to get a bit of form going as we head into the Masters.
Did he say that, Ding, that he felt like he needed to play a few more matches to...
It's difficult to plan ahead. I mean,
or not. I think in some instances the best thing to do is just try and get a win as early as you can under your belt.
One.
Real prestigious event. So I think once you kind of qualify, it's capable of beating anyone on the given day. So that's what makes it tough these days, you know.
Be just a reminder, he's got to keep working, because this season he's had a lot of good results. Mentioned the semi-final.
Poor card back.
Straightforward, but first real glaring miss from him, and that will certainly help Ding.
So wasn't it? And this is what I like about Ding. You see how he goes about his business here.
6.
let the white go a little bit there. Oh,
24.
need to get that right, maybe 2 in 10. And if that's the case, you should always bail out and play the percentage shot. So a little bit of...
Zhang potted literally 2 balls, both in the first frame, and that was his lot.
Oh. One. Foul and a miss. Xingtong 4.
Nowhere near hard enough.
much opposition to test him, and he probably knew that deep down. I think he's a different player, and you know, just see him change. But this is where you have to dig in sometimes.
Foul. Thank you. Foul and a miss. Zhao Xingtong. Foul and a miss. Zhao Xingtong 6.
Red on, which he has. Probably would have been better if he could have tried to nestle on the 3. Choosing to play safe now. He's trying to block that side of the table off with the black ball. Played that well.
One.
Bulk here to get on the red.
Okay.
With a shake in his head as he goes back to his seat. Has left another chance.
One.
Got it there. In fact, last couple of shots Zhao played. I might just spur him on now.
Nine.
But, as I say, if he does win this frame now, then it might just wake him up a little bit. We've seen in this frame that Zhao Yingtong's attacked, but some of his safety has definitely led to chances for Ding.
when he was bad, the bad shots, they were so bad that they kind of gifted, you know, such good opportunities to Ding. And I know Ding hasn't punished him there. But still knowing that you need to learn. But there's not a massive learning curve, you know, because there is a ball for an hour and a half. I wasn't used to that on the amateur circuit, so I had to learn that side of the game, and you know.
Because, you know, he's seen his opponents actually make a lot of mistakes last 20 minutes or so. But I think Ding is frustrated he's not playing well himself. Closed out the win pretty comfortably. Next round against Barry Hawkins, he went
And frustrated with yourself, and in some stages, you know, it's like I've not got off to a good start. You know, I'm not feeling. You have to fight it out sometimes, you know, because it can be one shot, one thing that can happen in the game. It's not winning pretty.
Well, it's a great chance this for Xingtong. It's almost like he's played two.
33.
The top 32 one. But to get in the top 16 one will mean it'd have to have a good run in, instead of playing to win. I think that Ding's the type of player that just goes out a little bit of negative pressure. You know, Ding's a great pressure player. When enough results, you start to put the wrong type of pressure on yourself.
56.
Meanwhile, Zhao's here putting a good break together.
The result of his rather rash long red. He's very, by the way, who we saw win earlier against Yan Bingtao. He's going to play Alfie Burden now. He's beaten Zhang Yong 4-3. And Karen was 3-1 down to Joe Perry, 1-4-3.
In good form. It was interesting to hear what he said in his post-match interview. He's gone from using Kamui to these new century tips. Else in the tournament, I think.
Yeah, well, he said he wasn't going to play, other than the fact it was in Glasgow.
Cushion, because here Ding's got much more control on what he can do with that white, and Ding hasn't played a great shot either. You know, most of the time they know the importance of even the simple shots.
One.
Always on the black.
$17.
Any better.
25.
A maximum from John Higgins. Still a great chance. He played down for the Blue. He was on a 147, about 56 or something. And 2.
One.
To the side. A lot to do here, really. It's one of them. One good quickly as you can.
One. Seven. Fourteen. 20. 21.
Just a few loose shots in this match from Zhao Xingtong. He's certainly attacking again. Junhui and Zhao Xingtong 2-2. For £70,000. Well, he likes to take them on.
One.
Wow, that was a big shot.
Amazing partner, bro.
You can hear the applause for Mark Allen, who has won 4-1 round. Not in a million years would anyone take that on. I think the game started to change really when Stephen Hendry came along and really attacked.
$38.
To go in, which he did. Shows he's feeling good.
46.
In clinical 1-2 visits, wins. If you look at the 2 frames that he's lost, you know, victory 4-1. But, you know, if you don't nick them frames,
54.
sometimes you don't win. You'll win a lot of matches. And basically that's what Zhao needs. It'll be an handful.
62.
For 144 on. His icebreaker's a pro's 142.
70.
And then, of course, that brown as well. See, particularly young players are knocking a great ball, and it's almost like the adrenaline is still coursing, and they make just an elementary mistake a couple of shots later.
You know, he's quite quick, but without being quick, you know, a little bit like Mark Williams.
You can't dispute he's got talent. It's just learning the sort of match play skills as well to win some of those scrappier frames. Well, it's not a century, but it's a very quick fire 7-minute frame to send China's #1 packing. Judd Trump was a winner. Sort of send postcards to complain.
To perform in some ways, and I think, you know, I know we have these outside tables, but it's your chance to prove why I shouldn't have.
Anyway, he's had his say. Well, Zhao Xingtong was having his say, but...
One.
He's got...
Thank you. 15.
them formats, and sometimes if you come out in these best of sevens and play a little bit negative, is that really going to get you over the line? More often than not, I think sometimes you have to
turn it round. Here, you go a couple behind, you're starting to sweat a little bit. I've got to get in frame 3 and make something happen. And it's the challenge for the players to adjust their games, as you say. And Ding, just not quite at the races today.
Maybe they don't get to see on the TV. And I'm really just trying to keep an eye on Ding and Zhao just to get a feel for.
I think the thing, whether it's
because he was always winning by 6, 7, 8, 9 frames. I think these days now, I think the standard is that high, and there with you know, having to hold it together when it matters.
Well, he's looking to get into them, but has missed them. And maybe the pieces just need to be fitted together. Clearly, he's a very talented potter. He can make the breaks. Maybe the same.
And then you'd see the finish article. You'd probably take him too far the other way, but you're better off going that way and then coming back towards your natural game, if you know what I'm saying, if that makes sense. Ray would strip his game apart.
Well, he's lining up another long one. You see, he raised his hand there, but he actually left a pot.
I felt a different player. And obviously when we met up and we spent time on a practice table and started working on stuff, you know, it was just open my mind.
Thank you.
Celebrated Chinese #1. They've played twice before. Ding's won them both.
A way to get into them reds. Oh, unlucky.
One.
Well, you could see from the...
And sometimes, you know, and but I'd love to work with someone like Ray worked with me. Yeah, I think you get great joy from, you know, watching someone kind of
on a knife edge, really, this frame. Ding is sort of battling to stay in the match. Zhao's had a few chances, been losing his way. There's 10 points in it.
One. Nine.
in between the blue. That's what I said, Dave. Always get as near, and I just don't get it. I just don't get it, and I never will.
Could be very costly. Ding needs the colours
Five.
to steal the frame, and Keil got on the black nicely. He looked over.
Yeah, but like you said before, Dave, earlier on, you know, you got a big old pot.
Yeah, that's it. He put himself under pressure. In fact, he got down to
14.
play, got back up these two in. He's going to have to do it all again in the deciding frame. Didn't clear. Off. He left a long red on. Didn't get another shot. Zhao made 89 to win frame 5.
Find a test that will make him a stronger player.
One.
Ball. That'd be another thing I'd have to knock out of his game as well. All he's have to do is be clinical. He just doesn't seem to want it back. Bit of a nasty streak in you, and all the great champions, Hendry, John Higgins, Selby, all lovely guys off the table.
In their heyday, you'd be lucky to get a good morning out of them when they're in the zone ready to play.
17. 24. 1.
Gil, Fergal, O'Brien, Mark Williams, Barry Hawkins. Some terrific wins, and he ran Selby close actually. He lost 6-4 in the semis.
Going for. And if there's one criticism from Zhao, is just that nice putt. These balls.
4.
Good putt. Oh.
Foul.
So it's a bit cruel, Dave, but that can happen. You know, he's left himself a thin pot on the pink, which is okay. But he knew he was going into the other red. He knew the other red.
No, and also, you know, he probably should be doing the press
No, so I know we're being ultra critical, but if he's to become a multiple tournament winner, he's given this game away to Ding today.
Well, so scrap that. And he'll be delighted, Ding, to get through a match like this, where he's been. Zhao on the big stage really hasn't.
That's why he's so good, and that's why he wins so many tournaments, because he's so efficient. You know, up for the blue.
Dodged a whole barrage of them today, really. Orange snookers, and not 51 on, there's 43 on, so snookers needed. That red makes you.
I know the frame's one, but we're talking about inch a little bit loose. You're going to be a little bit in and out. And I think that's where Zhao.
He'll be disappointed. He knows he had chances. Ding not at his very best today, but he's through. Zhao's coming forward to shake hands.